afternoon, good morning. I would like to express gratitude to organizers, Lira Dubai, for opportunity to make presentation. Our organization, more than 30 years of work as a project, trying to address informational support of the governance bodies in the nature protection areas, climate sustainable development of areas and businesses. We are confident that working at the regional workshop seminar using tools of ATF will make contribution in implementation of the Paris Agreement, climate agenda of Central Asian countries and the whole region. And we live in very interesting time. New climate challenges, they formed the demand for new measurements and dimensions and indicators. No measurement, no phenomenon, people say. And we are witnesses that new statistics is developed, statistics on climate change. Next slide, please. First of all, I would like to tell a couple of words about transparency in general understanding and applicable to informational area. This term means reliability, openness, full and timeliness and understanding of the data we have. And only transparency makes easier external interaction, for example, with investment funds and transparency allows us to track the adaptation mitigation activities to make decisions, to make a sound decisions to reduce the climate risk. In the course of our project for Kyrgyz Republic, first time, the unified set of statistical indicators were developed for climate change. And these indicators reflect importance of climate agenda, natural climate, social, economic, environmental, demographic, and major part of 40 indicators from 105 reflect the processes and phenomena. Monitoring is very important at the national scale. Other group of indicators is presented by sector-based data. They are oriented to reduce the climate risk in the sectors, national sectors of economy. And it is extremely important that this unified set and based on it, the official statistic will be published. This set includes 11 specific hydrometeorological indicators. And these indicators implement the climate products which have been prepared in the course of our project for target use in the climate vulnerable sectors. Next. And we would like to draw your attention the list of these climate products. They were transformed into statistical indicators. And just briefly, the nature of our project is to provide support to National Statistical Committee and National Hydrometeorological Service. First of all, to develop a unified set of indicators. The special expert efforts made to develop 11 climate products. For each indicator, passports were developed as a methods. And the project was designed and to introduce indicators on climate change and statistical practice of the Kyrgyz Republic. And it is very important that institutionally new area of statistics was formed related to climate and approach and draft of the regulations were elaborated for National Statistical Committee and the Kyrgyz Hydromet. And the trainings were organized and the capacity build and development programs were designed by our services because they use climate data information, a set of documents were developed. And I would like to highlight this work would not be possible without interested position of the managers and specialists of the National Statistical Committee, Kyrgyz Hydromet, but also responsible persons of the regional departments, as a real sector of economy representatives, private business, and in joint dialogue, we managed to hear what climate data we need. And also very important, we can irradiate interest of the users to climate information, that they become confident that they can get real assistance. About assistance, they need this assistance, they need support. People, they feel they recognize losses because hazardous climate events become more often and they become more intense, difficult to predict, and people wait for new disasters. So it's very important to have address system of climate services where various but extremely important data presented about nature, the methods of adaptation, damage, social economic consequences, and many other things. And there is a broad range of the users of climate information. First of all, the officials, public servants, and commanders of business, small farmers, households, banks, crediting organizations, insurers, commercial, non-commercial structures. Each of them have their own goals and they have their own picture of climate risk. But they are united with one thing, that to get knowledge on climate and related to climate. Why in a conversation on transparency, we're talking about the National Service of Statistics and the National Hydrometeor Services, because in the age of flourishing digitalization, we rely on internet. But report on human development for 2021-22, 60% of information is fake information, and there are no limits, and we can expect even more hazardous data because the primary data will be provided also by artificial intellect and intelligence. And when we understand that only public service, statistical, the hydrometeorological, they can really help us to get the status data and reliable data. Our distinguished experts, they provided evidence. They analyzed all of the parts of chain on environmental information, how primary data received, who received, and how to store data, how to present data, and also to think how new economic data will be used. All these parts of chain are critically important to provide reliable climate information, and expert analysis shows that all production structures into our agencies. They have legislation, methodological justification. They are supported by qualified, skillful staff, and during each phase, they have verification. And this table on 2 pages, I show this two tables show this work, and everything is proved with evidence. And a short comment about adequacy of received results. These indicators of summarize a set. And the first, we focus on need on vulnerable sectors from climate perspective, clear orientation on international approaches and best practices. And here we take as a basis to form the set of indicators. We took the global set of indicators on climate change to meet local conditions. It is very important. We have to take into consideration also those who generate, produce climate information, and ability of the consumers to consume, to use this climate information. Next, please. And I would like to come back to the first slide on transparency about contribution of the project at all stages of production and provision of data. We made national, international methods and methodologies. Indicators coverage are defined with representatives of the national vulnerable groups and other stakeholders. Information is published regularly on the website or National Statistical Committee and Kyrgyz Hydromet, if necessary, provide free this data and specialized internet platform of climate service was developed and also users get guidelines on climate change. And also very important, furthermore, we with our colleagues from Kyrgyz Republic, we consider this set as dynamically developed list, and it could be changed, complemented, extended, depends on development of the climate agenda and climate adaptation and mitigation, social economic conditions, and institutional and organizational environment in Kyrgyz Republic. And in conclusion, dear colleagues, I would like to express gratitude to the managers of UNDP, to the managers and the staff of the National Statistical Committee on constructive and successful cooperation. But we need work ahead of us. We have a lot of work to adjust that data generation, but we believe and we hope the statistical indicators on climate change become normal and popular. Thank you very much.